Damn it, Georgia, it's good to see you again. It's been 7, 8 days? You look great. You look healthy. How's that son of a bitch boyfriend of yours, huh? Is he still getting along with your mom?
He's fine.
Ah, that's good to hear. Well, look, I'll make this quick. I know you're a busy girl.
I'm not busy. I have all the time in the world.
Oh, you're sweet. You're sweet. Okay, look, here's the deal. I'm holding an exclusive party on March 15th.
Are you folks ready to order?
Yes, I'll have the bacon omelet, no onions, and no green peppers.
Just a Diet Coke, please.
Thank you.
How exclusive?
The party will include only 5 close friends of mine. It's going to be held at my home, apartment 813 in a high-rise at 44 Bolson Avenue. Don't bring any guests. Don't arrive late. Food's on the counter, liquor's in the pantry. Dress to your own discretion within reason. No crappy khakis or ripped flannels. Or those dilapidated shorts I discovered you in. Be presentable, you know, be on time. Kicks off at 8, I'll be there exactly at 9 p.m. The door is deadbolted, so you're gonna need a key. Don't lose it, Sherman.
Okay, I'll be there, Mr. Quinn.
I wouldn't miss it for the world, Mr. Quinn.
Count me in, Mr. Quinn.
Mr. Quinn, I don't give a shit if fucking Area 51 abducts me, man, and starts sticking shit up my ass. I'm at that party, baby, yeah!
Anything for you, Mr. Quinn. I'll be there at 8, right on the button.
And you went?
Of course.
Without any hesitation?
Absolutely not.
How come?
Because I would do anything for Mr. Quinn. Anything. He was like an Alan Einstein stuck in like the body of a Greek god or whatever. He was perfect.
How do you feel about him now, Georgia? It's a simple question, Miss Holmes. How sympathetic are you towards him now?
Look, you!
It was a party.
I know that.
It was a monumental fucking party. I had to go.
And you did?
You bet your sweet ass I did. I decked myself in the best black Versace dress my closet had to offer. I went down to 44 Bolson Avenue. I pounded on door 813 and I said, "Hey, what's going on, sugar?" So what's your name, baby?
Sherman Pippin?
Had you ever seen her before?
No.
You had never met her.
No, I wouldn't remember this girl.
So you weren't aware of her relationship with Mr. Quinn?
No, not yet.
What happened next?
Georgia found her way in the kitchen and she started making a garden salad.
Were there others?
They weren't there yet.
Did you know who they were?
No, I didn't have a clue.
Hey, do you want any of this, honey?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Do you live here?
Sometimes.
Oh, man. You got beautiful legs. Oh, I'm sorry. But you do. And your hair's nice. Wow.
You're going to Mr. Quinn's, aren't you?
Yep.
Great.
And she was hot, man. She was, like, absolutely fantastic, you know?
But you had never met her, Coop.
No, but I once saw this girl in a copy of Celebrity Sleuth that looked a little bit like her.
But you were never introduced to Abby Klein before.
No.
What happened next?
We went into the apartment and introduced ourselves.
I'm Abby.
I'm Georgia. I'm Georgia Collins. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Georgia. Nice to meet you.
Woo! Hey, Carter, you made it, man. Cool.
Where's Mr. Quinn?
Where was Mr. Quinn?
Not there. Not yet.
You arrived at 8:15.
8:10.
Didn't Mr. Quinn clearly state that he'd be there at exactly 9?
Yeah.
So why were you surprised when you didn't see him there?
Because I knew Mr. Quinn.
See, Mr. Quinn always had a way of being there ahead of time. If I were standing outside the fanciest restaurant in Manhattan on New Year's Eve and couldn't even see the front door because an angry mob of people were blocking my view, Mr. Quinn would have appeared out of nowhere, lifted the velvet rope. He'd have seated me at the best table in the house, and I'd be sniffing the fucking cork out of a free bottle of wine right as the ball dropped. So that's Mr. Quinn. To answer your question, yes. I was a little surprised to see he wasn't there yet. I thought I might have been late.
What happened next, Carter?
Drank some champagne, told some stories.
In a white room with black curtains near the station. Where'd you meet Mr. Quinn? Yeah, you.
Oh, God. I don't even remember. Okay, well, it was a Monday night, and it was about 2 weeks ago. I had just come home from this exhausting workout at Billy Blank's, about to go take a shower, and I hear this noise coming from the bedroom.
Come on, Daddy, ride the cattle, Daddy!
So I opened my bedroom door, and I found my mother and my boyfriend playing cowboys and Indians.
Wait, I can explain!
Joe! Joe!
I was destroyed. I find myself walking the sidewalks of downtown LA thinking, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's going on with my life?
What am I doing wrong? Like, what's going on with my life?
10 minutes later, I find myself in this place called the Bourbon Bar. I was hating life, was hating men, hating my mother for loving my men. I was ready to close up the tab when I heard his voice.
Can I buy you another?
Sure.
Oh, Mr. Quinn.
I'm Georgia Palms.
Palms. Palms. I used to know Bethany Palms from San Jose. A little bit older than you, though. Any relation? Wow. You and her could have been sisters. She was flawless, like a perfectly chiseled porcelain doll. Deep blue eyes with little flecks of green. I never spoke to her, though. Not once. But just to hear that angelic voice speak in a conversation or ask our teacher a question in class just make my heart pound like a jackhammer. I loved her. She had no idea who I was. Then one day we're standing in line in the cafeteria waiting for our lunch. And she turns to me and says, "Do you have a quarter? I'm a little short on change." I dug through the pockets of my stonewashed jeans and I gave her one. And she gives me this smile of all smiles. And she says, "Thank you, fuckface." Words. The fact that she even glanced in my direction was enough. I mean, I couldn't give her my heart. She would never accept it. But she did take my quarter, and that made my year. You know, the way you pout your lips. And the way you sip that drink. You could be her.
He was everything I needed, everything I ever wanted. He was so talented and brilliant and the best lover I ever had.
How did you feel about Georgia when she told all of you at the party that she slept with Mr. Quinn?
I didn't care. Mr. Quinn didn't belong to me. He wasn't my boyfriend. I didn't feel anything at all.
So you didn't harbor any resentment towards her?
No, not at all. I couldn't have been happier for her.
My God, the sex, it was so magnificent that I had to smoke like 4 unfiltered Lucky Strikes afterwards. My God, he was so gorgeous.
What did you do after that, Georgia?
Well, we were lying in bed. He rolls over and asks me a favor.
I need to ask you a favor.
Anything for you, Mr. Quinn.
Well, I know a man named Dimitri Fairbanks. He owns a retail clothing store in the outskirts of Sacramento. 2 days ago, he won $55,000 on a scratch-and-win lottery ticket.
Wow.
Now, here's the deal. Dimitri Fairbanks is a scumbag. And no one really trusts him because for more than a decade he's been lifting money from the store's revenue receipts and sidestepping the IRS. And he knows it's only a matter of time before they catch him for tax fraud. So when he scratched off the winning ticket and realized that the cash influx would cause the IRS to look into his records and his business,
Holy Jesus of Nazareth!
he knew he had to act fast. Within 12 hours, he had registered the ticket, cashed the check, and fled the city in his '82 Chevy Camaro before the bank even had a chance to double-check his name. Knowing that the feds would be hounding his tail and the bills would have to be accounted for, he had to get rid of the money. He went to Tiffany's and cashed it in on a pair of $54,000 diamond earrings.
And how will you be paid for these, sir?
Cash.
But that wasn't enough. This guy started to flinch. Those walls of his world were caving in on him. He knew what he had to do. He had to bury the evidence. So he swallowed the earrings. Last night, he arrived in Los Angeles and checked into a Motel 6. I need you to go there and get those earrings.
How am I gonna do that?
You're gonna cut them open, girlfriend.
I'm gonna what?
Before he shits this thing out or the feds catch up to him, you're gonna cut them open and get those earrings. Hey, look, the currency's not his. If they catch this guy, the money's going straight back to the bank. Look, the only thing Dimitri loves more than his Camaro is prostitutes. Now, hear me out on this. You arrive at the motel bar about 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Look like $1 million. You're gonna court him and solicit him. He's gonna succumb to that proposal, and he's gonna invite you back to his room. In the room, you'll obtain the earrings.
I can't.
You can.
I can't.
You can.
Oh, I can't.
All right, you're right, you can.
You think I can?
Yes, honey. You're a smart girl. I believe you can.
What's in it for me?
Half the price of the earrings.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Atta girl.
I'll be there at 8, right on the button.
Good girl. Good girl.
How do you know all this about me?
Yeah. I know everything.
Mr. Quinn knew fucking everything.
He was like a genius. He was like a genius sent out from like heaven or something.
Did you tell the other people at the party who you were sent to murder?
I didn't tell them like details or anything. I just told them, what I did.
What did you do?
I strolled into the motel dressed to kill.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with
He spotted me right away.
in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling.
Well, how far did it get?
What do you mean?
So did he bone you or what?
No, baby. It didn't get that far.
You know the night's magic seemed to win.
You admitted to a room of complete strangers that you murdered an innocent man?
They were my friends.
You had never met them before.
Look, everybody in the apartment that night had some kind of connection to Mr. Quinn, and Mr. Quinn had his hands in just about everything, so I'm sorry, I didn't feel like I was opening up like the Panorama's box or whatever.
But things did take a turn after you told them, didn't they?
Yes!
What'd you do next?
Yeah, what happened?
I must have dug through that bastard's lower intestines for like a half an hour until I found it. It was beautiful. And that was the end of Mr. Fairbanks.
Hold on a second. Stop right there. What did you say?
I said I gave Mr. Quinn...
No. Mr. Fairbanks who?
Dimitri Fairbanks. He was the guy who...
Holy
who
shit.
owned the clothing store in Sacramento. He was the guy who
Holy
ran that
shit.
clothing
Well,
store.
maybe it's not the
He was
same
guy
guy,
who was running
man.
from the IRS.
Of course it's the
He was
same
guy that
fucking
was
guy.
selling
What is wrong, Carter?
Yeah, what's wrong, guys?
Mr. Quinn fucking lied to you. Dimitri Fairbanks was never in trouble with the IRS. He doesn't even own a clothing store. He's just some fucking degenerate gambler that my father knew a few years back. My father, well, our father, once lent him $25,000. He lost it to a bookie on a college basketball game, and that was the last we ever heard from him. About 2 weeks ago, he called us, said he won the lottery, and said he was coming back in town to pay us.
Then 2 days later, they found him dead because of you.
Wait. If the guy was gonna pay you back, then why did he buy the earrings?
He had spent 2 decades of his life with bookies chasing his ass like Dobermans. He must have bought the earrings out of paranoia. We thought he still had the cash on him somewhere, so little Coop and I tracked down Dimitri Fairbanks' bookie in the white pages.
Who is his bookie?
Mr. Quinn. He's been dead a week. Right here, page 22. The man has been identified as Dimitri Fairbanks, who was found dead by Rosa Hernandez, a maid at Motel 6 on Sadler Avenue last Wednesday morning. What the hell is this, Mr. Quinn? I need the money. My father needs the money.
He wasn't holding the money when they found him. They would have stated that in the paper.
Well, then maybe it's still in the hotel.
Yeah, maybe it's in the mini bar, right? Where they have those little caramel things and the little bottles of alcohol, man. Maybe. You don't think so?
What if the money never left Sacramento? I mean, what if it's back at his work or something?
Or in his car.
Well, his car would be impounded.
Not after 9 days.
Where would it be then?
Well, there's only one place I can think of. There's a used car spot in Van Nuys. It's called the Caladad dealership. A lot of impounded vehicles are shuttled there after a 7-day window. I know it's owned by a man named Jeremiah. Asked to see the white Camaro. Take it out for a spin. Go drive up Casio Lane and check the trunk.
Are you sure the car would be there?
Pretty sure.
What if the money's not in the car, man? And what if this guy Jeremiah gives a shit, bro?
Take care of the problem. You know how to take care of problems, don't you, Carter?
Did you want to go?
I had to go. I had to get the money. And I wasn't prepared to go back to my father and tell him that little Coop's college tuition had evaporated at a Motel 6.
Were the others interested in what you had done?
At the party?
Yes.
They were mad interested, but, Carter said no faces, no places, so I didn't give them no details, man. You're the first to hear.
Tell me what happened, Carter.
We met Jeremiah. Right from the start, we wanted nothing to do with him.
But I'm gonna be right here with you, fellas, every step of the way. From the time you tell me what kind of car you fancy, till you cross that curly T on your ownership papers. My name's Jeremiah, and I'm gonna be with you. How about this beauty right here?
How about this one right here? Can we take that one for a spin?
Well, that one just came in. I haven't had a chance to put it on the lot yet. But that's a good choice, boys. Let me just get my jacket and I'll meet you right back here.
Excuse me?
Man, that fucking guy wouldn't leave us alone. He was like one of those shadows and just wanted to choke, man. Fucking glasses, four-eyed freak, man.
I'm gonna be traveling with you two. It's dealership policy.
Did your brother ever question the idea of taking the car off the lot?
Little Coop? Hell no.
He never thought twice about it?
My brother firmly believes that 4 of Jupiter's moons are made out of goat cheese and slinkies. My brother's an idiot.
Big wheels, give out dirty. Take me home to the kid.
Why don't you ease off that gas a little bit there, fella?
Shut up.
Come again?
Please, shut the fuck up.
Pull the car over. We're driving back to the dealership.
Check the fucking trunk.
You can't just... Give me the keys. It's not here!
Shit!
Give me the keys!
Maybe he hid the money under the seat or something.
This is the last time I'm gonna ask you, fellas.
Get in the bag.
Come again? Get in the fucking bag, man! How dare you punk kids threaten me? Hand me the keys and get the hell out of here!
You're getting in the fucking bag.
I'm not doing anything! 1, 2, 3!
Goodbye, Jeremiah! Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said.
What happened next?
We drove to an underground parking lot and called Mr. Quinn. That's when we heard the news.
Hey, I've got good news. I found the money. It was in a safety deposit box at a bank behind the motel.
But there was no bank behind the motel. He just cashed in Dimitri's ring that Georgia gave him and passed on his own half onto you. Had you told the others at the party at this point that you had killed Jeremiah?
No. Car's on the 6th floor of the Galleria parking structure.
Good. Leave it there.
What was his name? What? The guy you took the car from, what was his name?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
You stole a car from a guy, you leave him in the middle of nowhere, and you don't even remember his name?
What kind of car was it?
Huh?
What kind of car was it?
It was white, like the snow.
A 1982 Chevy Camaro, stock rims, dented fender, white like the snow. Okay, you gotta believe me when I say that I had never met this guy before. I was riding my bike to jobs that were firing me every fucking day.
You're fired! You're fired! You fired!
I sucked at what I was doing,
You're fired.
so they fired me. Sure enough, right as I'm about to leave the store, he shows up, walking down the supermarket aisle like Don Corleone. He walks right past me, handing me a yellow card.
What did it say?
Get your pink slip and meet me outside. Yeah, Mom, I know. I am just as concerned about that as you are. Oh, well, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. I love you too. Bye.
Good afternoon.
So before I know it, we're sitting at this cafe ordering food.
Gentlemen ready to order?
Yes. I'll have the bacon omelet, no onions and no green peppers.
Okay, freezer. Club soda, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I need to ask you a question. Sean, is it?
Sherman.
Sherman. Right. Sherman, I need to ask you a favor.
What kind of a favor?
Well, it's a silly favor. You see, a couple of buddies of mine, we were camping last night, and we were all wandering around the woods, you know, swallowing Heinekens like it was our job, right? And my buddy, he gets convinced that there's this grizzly or a coyote or something chasing us. Shit!
He went into this long story about going hiking and losing his camping gear. He said he couldn't go back to get the bag, so he asked me.
I need you to go get the bag.
Why me?
Because, my friend, I don't see you going back to work after lunch.
No, I mean, why can't you go, or why can't your friends go?
Oh, we would. If we could cancel our first-class tickets to the beautiful Hawaiian island of Molokai. But we can't.
Okay. Okay, so what's in it for me?
You like cars? It's yours if you get the bag and drop it off at the front door of this address.
How do you know all about me?
I know everything.
The guy knew fucking everything. Right down to the exact location of the bag.
Where was the bag?
Cassio Lane. Now, I was a decorated Boy Scout for 1.5 years, and no one ever carried camping gear that was 3 times their own weight.
Did you ever once look inside the bag? While you were in the car or at the house?
I looked inside that bag, I never would have gone to Mr. Quinn's party that night. I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
What house did you take the bag to?
I don't know.
Where was the fucking house?
It was on Beechwood Canyon. It was a half a mile up Beechwood Canyon.
God, Mr. Quinn. You son of a bitch.
It was your house, wasn't it? So, tell us, Abby, where did you meet Mr. Quinn?
At a real estate office in Echo Park. I don't know anymore. I don't even know whose real estate office it was.
How did you hear about it?
I found its business flyer in my mother's mailbox.
Did Mr. Quinn sell you the house that day?
He couldn't. I didn't have any money.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. We can liquidate your assets and secure your deed within a few weeks.
I'm desperate, Mr. Quinn.
So you have nowhere else to live. Oh, there's a Motel 6 right up the street here. It's very nice.
No, please. I'd really rather not go to a motel.
Oh, okay. Well, the house is vacant. So you can reside there as a substitute tenant if you like, from a day-on, day-off trial residency. But after that, you know.
After that, I'm just shit out of luck. Would you be interested in a roommate? I needed him for all the wrong reasons. I was kissing a guy's ass who had absolutely no talent, no brains. And the sex? The sex was nothing to brag about.
And for the record, it was the worst sex I ever had.
Why don't you shut your mouth,
Why
you
don't you
fucking
get the
bitch?
fuck out of my
Get out
way,
of
you
my
little
face.
tramp! No, you little slut!
Hey, where'd you get the bag?
Mr. Quinn had a fucking plan!
I have a plan.
For what?
For your house, for the money.
What are you talking about?
Let's illustrate a situation for a minute, okay? A dead body, winds up at the front porch of that house. What would you do?
I don't know.
Come on.
I'd, chop off the fingertips and use them for wind chimes.
No, seriously, what would you do?
I don't know.
What if you didn't call the coroner or dial 911? What if you dragged the body back inside the house? See, there's a legal loophole in Section 529 of the Tripton Clause, which states, if an unidentified corpse is found inside the property of a private residency, the owner of that property can sue the relatives of the individual for shock and emotional hardship.
The guy did know fucking everything.
Think about it. The family gets an anonymous letter stating, hey, this guy moseyed into my house, committed suicide in my kitchen. Pay me my fair compensation. Don't answer now, just think about it. What would you do? Would you chop off his fingers, or would you file a litigation suit and collect $500,000?
What did you do, Abby?
I dragged that bastard into my house by the balls.
Is this Jacoby and Myers? I need to file a litigation suit.
Did you ever wonder how the body arrived on the doorstep of your house?
Mr. Quinn just said he'd take care of it.
I'll hold.
Did you tell the others about this at the party?
There were no secrets anymore.
So, 2 days ago, I filed a litigation suit.
A litigation suit to where?
What does it matter to you?
Where was it sent?
What does it matter to you?
Where were the fucking litigation papers sent to?
I'm not telling you shit!
You can tell the difference between right and wrong, huh?
Right and wrong.
Get out of my face!
Where did you send the papers? Where did you send the fucking...
The papers were sent to the family of the guy I dragged into my house, some used car salesman, Jeremiah Pippin.
Jeremiah Pippin was my father!
What kind of
fucking
Why don't you come with your extra money while we're at it?
It's Mr. Quinn!
Get my gun. Open the door.
LAPD, you're all under arrest.
Oh, man, I think I just shit my pants!
Shut up!
The apartment you're in belonged to Mr. and Mrs. Edward Rosenthal. They operate a small real estate office in Echo Park and were spending a 4-week vacation with their daughter Bethany in the Hawaiian island of Molokai. They had never met Mr. Quinn. Not once. We at the department received an invitation to a party as well. Let me read it to you. To whom it may concern, on the night of March 15th, the following people responsible for the attached transgressions will be found at 44 Bolson Avenue, apartment 813. And then it goes on and details upon details, and then, here it says, please arrive promptly at 9 p.m., for I fear these 5 individuals will inflict injury upon one another after this point. Sincerely, Mr. Quinn. You were ahead of schedule. You involved yourself with a man who you knew deep down had an insidious agenda. A man who successfully pretzeled your lives together into some diabolical slipknot and then pulled tight. You know, I spoke to my fiancé about this case last night, and do you know what he told me?
Honey, it sounds like Mr. Quinn was just a fanatic with a plan. Suffering from that incurable itch of control. He threw a party, had them all meet to expose their truths and subsequently kill each other. He did his research.
I think he's absolutely right. You're under arrest, Mr. Beck, for the murder of Jeremiah Pippin and assisting in grand theft auto, along with knowingly concealing his body on the grounds of your property, aiding in the removal of this body's evidence, solicitation, and the first-degree murder of Dimitri Fairbanks.
What am I doing wrong? Like, what's going on with my life?
He must have spent weeks, months probing their lives, researching their backgrounds. And for what? His own inside joke? His demented acromania? He was a kook. But what do I know?